Let me just start off immediately by saying Bungie has lost all respect and integrity it once had as a company. Far be gone are the former glory days of Halo when it comes to this huge company. I cannot believe that Bungie is doing this scummy shit not once but twice. Again, they got caught before in the past when it came to assets and models and concept art for Destiny, but now moving forward they're doing it again with their new series Marathon. And Marathon didn't even launch yet. This is insane. Bungie lays the blame on a former artist, but come on, at the end of the day, you are a massive supergiant company. It doesn't take a genius to realize, hey, where'd you get your concept art for? Hey, can I see where you got these designs from? Hey, da 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 da. And you went through with it regardless. Even if the guy's still not at the job anymore and you got rid of him, dude, you couldn't just go back and just do some quick fact checking. This poor artist, the poor artist who is the individual who's gotten their work stolen, I can't even put myself in their shoes. It is crazy because remember, you're not gonna have the financial money to go after these guys. They're huge, but at the same time, you got to do something. So if anything, I'm glad mob justice is actually showing up for this one. But with that being said, let's just dive in and see what is going on with Bungie and how did this happen. Bungie is once again being accused of using designs of an independent artist without the permission, pay, or attribution in a post on X earlier today. Let's just quickly dive over and see this post on X. The Marathon Alpha released recently and its environments are covered with assets lifted from my poster designs I made in 2017. Bungie is of course not obligated to hire me when making a game that draws overwhelmingly from the same design language I have refined for the last decade, but clearly my work was good enough to pillage for ideas and plaster all over the game without pay or attribution. Oh, Bungie, why? I feel so bad for this artist. I feel so bad. Man, and like, you know what, these kind of designs, like, I can tell there's something from a portfolio piece, really cool graphical design portfolio piece, like you have just like code on code, like patterns on patterns, really vibrant bright greens on yellows and whites, and I do graphic design and I do art and animation, as those of you know, but to see your work get stolen to this degree, this level of, this is worse than like waking up one day and finding that AI took all your shit. Like, this is way worse, because this is a huge corporation of people, and now they're gonna be making money off your hard work that you already worked on in the past, and they didn't even like bother to talk to you about it. I don't have the resources nor the energy to spare to pursue this legally, but I have lost count of the number of times a major company has deemed it easier to pay a designer to imitate or steal my work than to write me an email. Oh man, I feel so bad. Let's dive back into the article really quickly before we just continue how gut-wrenching this poor artist's work is. Like, this is insane. Bungie has no right to be doing this. Man. Artist Anti-Real, that's actually a cool name by the way, said that Marathon's environment art uses designs elements pulled directly from her 2017 poster designs. Yep. Bungie is of course not obligated to hire me yet. We went for that before as well. But as evidence, Anti-Real uploaded screenshots from in-game footage of the recent Marathon Alpha playtest, comparing designs and logos seen throughout in-game environments with poster design work that she posted on Twitter in 2017. So she's got the receipts. First of all, she has a lot of receipts already. So they like, really, it's so weird to me because at this point you can't think that they weren't aware to some degree. Even if you said, I fired that former artist, well, yeah, you clearly kept the work that he stole. You clearly were still cool with keeping those designs. It's just like plastering it everywhere on top of your game. But compared to the original designs, which are still visible on X, there are fairly blatant similarities. A design element from one of Anti-Real's posters of the word Alpha in all caps, paired with the text Dark Space Haulage Logistics, seems to appear unaltered on a series of Marathon structures. A sequence of logos and boxes seen on in-game charts and sheets appears to be pulled directly from another Anti-Real poster. No way. Taking a look at gameplay of the Marathon Alpha available on YouTube, PC Gamer confirmed that the double arrow logo from a third Anti-Real design was visible in-game. Let me see. Oh yeah, you guys are thieves. You guys are just straight up thieves. This is nuts. This amount of theft is insane. I've never seen in all my years, because I actually went to 3D. I went to 3D animation school for art and design. I've worked for a lot of like publishing firms. I've worked for a lot of like logo marketing firms for trade shows. I've worked for stuff with even with E3 and etc. And I've done a bunch of mobile games and whatnot like that. I have never seen this in my life. Never. Because this is I promise you, this is unheard of. This does not happen. This never happens. This is so weird because this is just acting for a lawsuit. So I'm so surprised that this happened. Like, granted, the person may not have the funds, but in the situation, if they do, you're gonna lose if they blatantly find out that you stole their copywritten work. Like, this is crazy. So, Anti-Real said that she hasn't been able to pursue legal action against Bungie due to the lack of resources. Yeah, it happens. In 10 years, I've never made a consistent income from this work, and I'm tired of designers from huge companies mood boarding and parasiting my designs while I struggle to make a living. That is so unfair. It is so unfair. Like, holy crap. You can tell that she's really passionate about it, and she really puts a lot of work into her design. From a graphical design standpoint, I will be honest, her patterns and her designs are really dope. They are so cool. But just to have them be like, hey, it's so cool there, let me just quickly steal that and slap it on my game and make millions of dollars, and she gets zero compensation because whatever, they just like stuck their head in the sand about it. But it's really unfair. This isn't the first time Bungie has been accused of using work of independent artists without permission. Just last year, Bungie admitted fan art was used while designing a Destiny 2 Nerf gun and promised to compensate and credit the artist. In 2023, Bungie said it would do the same for another artist, as an in-game Destiny 2 cutscene featured near identical similarities to their artwork. And in 2021, so they've done this like multiple times. I had no idea. Dang, Bungie, yo, you gotta think, land on your own feet and think for yourself. This is crazy. And in 2021, Bungie confirmed that fan art of, I'm gonna butcher your name, I'm so sorry. Fan art of Zivu Arath was accidentally used in a trailer for the Witch Queen expansion. Oh man, in the replies of, like, this is, like, before I even continue, let me just say, Bungie is very much aware of what they're doing. I don't care. You don't get caught once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, and then you're just like, again, guys, I didn't know, former developer did this, former artist did that, I accidentally used that in my trailer. I just like, dude, that many times? No way. No way, man. That's called a pattern. That's called a pattern. So you know what you're doing. So, holy crap, that's really bad, and Bungie needs to compensate this artist. Me personally, I'll give you my thoughts on it towards the end of this video, but let's keep going. In the replies to Anti-Real's accusations, another ex-user noted that she's followed by Marathon's franchise art director Joseph Cross on the platform. Anti-Real said that Joseph and other Bungie artists have followed her for a few years, but said she'd never communicated with them. Oh my goodness, the evidence is stacking up. The evidence is stacking up against these guys. Bungie has issued a statement via the Marathon dev team account on X. We immediately investigated a concern regarding unauthorized use of artist decals in Marathon and confirmed that a former Bungie artist included these in a texture sheet that was ultimately used in game. The statement reads, okay, all right, sure, buddy. This issue was unknown by our existing art. How? Stop. Because I promise you, with this game, you don't have like just one artist. You don't have just like one concept art. You don't even have just like 5. You have like a team of just concept art being pumped. Because we're not just talking about staging and environments. We're talking about weapons. We're talking about clothing. We're talking about facials. We're talking about characters. No way, dude. Vehicles, maybe. Whatever the case may be. There's no way that someone wouldn't just notice in the master file and just be like, hey, guys, where is this coming from? Like, come on. Oh, man, that's crazy. That is really crazy. This issue was unknown by our existing art team, and we are still reviewing how this oversight occurred. You knew. You just wanted to see if you could get away with it. That's how it occurred. We take matters like this very seriously. We have reached out to Anti-Real to discuss this issue and are committed to do right by the artist. I hope you do. I hope you do. According to Bungie's statement, the company seeks permission from the artist to use their work as a matter of policy, and that's the issue that can be traced back to a former Bungie artist. To prevent similar issues in the future, we are conducting a thorough review of our in-game assets. You should have been doing that from the jump. You should have been doing that from the beginning. That way, this situation never would have occurred. You could have been cool. You could have been smooth sailings right now and not had to worry about a thing. Specifically those done by former Bungie artists, and implementing stricter checks to document all artist contributions. Oh, okay. We value the creativity and dedication of all artists who contribute to our games, and we are committed to doing right by them. Thank you for bringing this to our attention. One incident would be unfortunate, but almost yearly accusations of Thank you. PC Gamer said exactly what I was thinking. One incident would have been unfortunate. Like it would have been like, okay, you fucked up. That happens. It's life. but almost year after year, accusations of unattributed art, uncredited art usage seems to indicate a system of dysfunction in Bungie's art department. So Bungie's art department is basically like drenched in a sea of plagiarism. It's crazy. Even though Bungie now has a record of admitting fault and retroactively crediting and compensating artists, it's harder to brush these incidents off as honest mistakes when it's the 4th time its artists have allegedly plucked designs from other people's work. So at this point, it's not an accident. It's a pattern. You guys are generally stealing because you know you can get away with it. That's all it is. Let's just call it is. Let's call it what it is. So let me also see here that how does this keep happening at Bungie? Seriously, it's like every year there's a new case of someone's art getting lifted. So even fans of it, this is a fan page, the Marathon Bulletin for the Marathon game. So fans are generally upset. They don't like what's going on. This game, in my opinion, is not going to take off. In my opinion, the best thing that Bungie could do right now, and I'm not even lying to you, scrap the project. I'm not lying, because they're gonna delay it. They're gonna say, "Oh, maybe we can do this." That it's you already seen in such a bad light. You're gonna launch this game, and it's gonna do really poor, very poorly. You're already paywalling it. It's another extraction shooter. There's several other ones that are gonna be free and better. So like, dude, don't do this to yourself. The best bet you can do is scrap the project, start anew, because you've already put yourself in this situation where a lot of gamers aren't gonna want to trust you. Like, dude, 4 times is insane. 4 times is insane to me. That is just straight up stealing. And fans are not messing with it. They're like, you know what? Your art inspiration that they took is literally the only appealing thing about their train wreck of a game. I'm sorry they're doing this to you, and I hope you sue them. And I gave that a like. I see that Joseph Cross also follows you. Is there any insight you can give about the connections there? He followed me for a few years, and a few others from Bungie did too. Never had any communication with them. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This is insane. You should definitely contact them and get this sorted out. I'm sure their legal team is on fire seeing this, as they should be. But with that being said, you guys let me know, what is your thoughts on the whole Bungie situation? Are you still interested in a game like Marathon after seeing this whole thing go down? Do you still trust Bungie after, you know, their first, second, third, and now coming on 4th act of plagiarism and stealing artwork and trying to pass it off as an accident? Are you still, like, you know, are you still willing to give them the benefit of the doubt, saying, you know, we may make mistakes even though this is like your 4th time happening? Or do you just say, hey, nah, this company is now made a name for themselves as being that big studio that plagiarizes and steals work? But you let me know in the comments, guys. I'm interested to know. Me personally, like I said, I think they should scrap this project and start anew because it is dead on arrival and no one's messing with it the way they had hoped, because look how they're acting. Look how they got themselves into. Like, if they cared, they wouldn't have gotten themselves in this situation. Full stop. That's my opinion on it. Let me know in the comments. Subscribe. Give this video a like, guys. I'm trying to see if we can get this channel just like smooth sailings moving forward when it comes to video game discussion, stuff that's going on in gaming, and etc. And of course, guys, as always, I will talk to you in the next one. Y'all take care. Later.